our second webinar with DCBN. I'm really excited about this one because I feel I know a bit about holiday lets and service departments and the cleaning involved and the management. And recently there've been really a lot of posts about it. The calls that members get with directors, the majority have been about holiday lets as well. And me and Hristina, we thought that's a really hot topic at the moment because it's the season as well, right after a lockdown. Things are busy. So that's how we thought the second webinar will be about holiday let cleans and everything involved with that. So I'm Kremena. I'm one of the DCBN directors. Today we've got Hristina with us. Also Diane is here and Luis is here. We will try to help as much as we can. If you have any questions, guys, there is a chat somewhere. I think you see it at the bottom of the screen. Or even after that, just message us, post in the group. We're always happy to answer any questions. It's a really, it's a big thing. I don't believe we can fit that in 1 hour. There is a lot to discuss, so we're always open to discussions. As I said, post in the group or ask us, send private messages. As long as you get the clients, that's the idea. And I think we should start now, Diane. So why I want to talk about service departments and holiday lets. Well, we've been cleaning for a few clients. I'm based in Oxford. So Oxford is a very popular area. We do have all types of guests, really. We've got people visiting, anyone, with universities. We've got people coming just to see them for the weekend. So we've got really different types of guests. And we were cleaning for a lady in central Oxford, a really good one. She was working mainly with Airbnb, and we were doing everything for her. So we were doing the laundry, we will buy fresh milk, we will put all the toiletries, all the supplies. She was even using our area to store her, bed linen and toiletries and supplies. So she was a good client, the cleaning went okay. And at some point she said, oh, I don't want to pay the VAT. And she was paying without the VAT. And I said, you can't do that. The invoice clearly says what you have to pay. And there was a bit of a trouble. She's still a client. I managed to keep her as a client and she still pays everything. But at some point I thought, gosh, if I do all that for you, I can do it for myself, because it's a lot of work, but in some way it's a nice work. When you see the guests, when you read the reviews they leave, it's a really rewarding job, and it has many positive sides. The timing, it's not every day, you can fit it around other things. So I thought, if I do all that for you, I can do it for myself. And this is how my journey started with service departments. I was fully trained. I can manage other people's apartments now. So I think I quite know what I'm talking about. The first thing you need to understand when we talk about cleaning service departments and holiday lets is your area, because depending on the area you are in, that will bring different type of guests. If you're in the countryside, say, and the majority of the properties around you are cottages, holiday cottages, you won't get that many working people there. Most people that will come for a holiday, for a weekend with their family, for half term with their children. If you're in a busy city with conference centers or large building sites, you won't get that much holiday people. You will get those coming just to work. And why it's important to understand that, because different guests will use the property differently, which means they will live behind them different type of need of the clean, if that makes sense. A holiday property in the countryside may have like a hot tube or a swimming pool that may require different type of clean health and safety documents. If you're in an apartment, say in Manchester, the cleaners, you know, may need to travel by public transport, and then they can't bring everything with them. It's got to be stocked there. It's got to be stocked in the apartment. So the first thing before you start even thinking about the cleaning is you've got to understand the area you will be servicing and why people are coming in your area. The best way to search for that is Google. Just see what's been advertised in your area, how hosts and people who run this type of properties, how they try to attract their guests, and that will give you an idea what kind of guests they will expect. Right. When we talk about that kind of properties, quite often I read in the post, people don't get the difference between holiday let and serviced apartment. And there is a massive difference. Hristina will talk to you a bit later, for example, for the properties she's working with. It's purely holiday lets in that area. She's in the Cotswolds. So just, you know, they've got the high-end, super luxurious properties with hundreds of towels per person, where you've got the serviced apartment where the owner is expecting that guests are coming just to sleep in the night. So they're working, for example, they're working at the bank is sending them to work in London, Canary Wharf or something. So they will only sleep in the apartment. They don't need that luxury, they need just something basic. With service apartments, sometimes you get the contractors, you know, that they will stay Monday to Friday. Why is different that for you? Because the cleans will be mainly on Fridays when they go home for the weekend where they live. If you've got the holiday let and the holiday people, most of your checkouts will be on Sundays or Monday morning, the latest. You will get the midweek one, probably. That depends on the management. But I hope I can explain exactly what is the difference between the two, but the check-in and the check-out dates are different depending on the type of the guest you've got. And a good manager or a good owner want to maximize their profit. So, and how you maximize your profit from a property when you let it 7 days a week, which means at the weekend, you've got the holiday people coming, people to stay with their families, but ideally in the week you get the corporate guests or the contractors that will stay during the week. It's important to understand that difference because the host will offer different things to the different guests. For example, I know hosts with contractors, they would rather avoid the trouble in the weekend. Sometimes holiday type of guests will make an absolute mess. They'll have a party, the cleaners won't have enough time to clean it, but then you've got the contractors arriving on Monday. So to save the hassle, they will let it only to the contractors and they may offer them to keep their stuff there at the weekend. So when you clean, the property actually won't be completely empty. There will be some belongings in the property. So you've got the holiday type guests, the corporate guests, and the contractors. This is the main three types that holiday or service apartment owners will work with. Now, it's important to understand who you will be working with. You've got two types of people dealing with that type of properties. You've got direct owners, so people who actually own the property, and you've got the management company. Now here it's something I need to mention. A lot of them work on a rent basis. So even if the property is not theirs, they pay rent for it and they act like owner. On this slide, I try to explain what the difference will be when you work with a management company and the owner. Please read for a minute. I just want to have some water. It's really hot where I am. Right. So how a management company is working, ideally they will get 30 days guests in the property. The way they charge, for example, they charge £100 per night. On that amount, they charge the owner of the property a certain fee. That comes from the £100 per night. Then it comes your fee for the clean. And then they've got the maintenance and toiletries and all that to pay. And whatever is left goes towards the owner of the property for whom they're managing it. When you've got the owner, whatever is left is for them. They don't pay anyone a management fee. So the management company will try to negotiate your prices, because the more they've got left for them, the better and the bigger percentage they will get. This is why you would prefer to work directly with the owner. On the other side, a management company, quite often they work with a huge number of properties in different locations, or even say in central London, they may have like 20 flats in the same building, which is perfect. Everybody wants to do that. 20 flats per day. Just imagine the changeovers you're going to do in the same location without traveling, with the ideal storage where you keep all the laundry and the cleaning supplies, and you're not worried about cars and how the cleaners will bring that all at the properties. It's when you work with a management company, obviously you've got business to business relationship where when you work with the owner is business to client type of a relationship. Quite often owners live nearby, so if there is a trouble, if something goes wrong, they can be there like in a really short notice. Where management companies, they can be based everywhere. I know some management companies based in France, and they manage apartments in Liverpool, for example. This has positive sides as well. It means they will need you more. They will need you to look after the property more. They will rely on you a bit more. But again, because they have, you know, large number of properties, they will try to negotiate the price. I personally prefer to work with owners because they want less headache and they're happy to pay more for that. Obviously, they won't negotiate my prices. I hope everyone had enough time to have a look at this slide, because I'm going to go for the next one. Now, where are you going to find management companies or owners? I would suggest ideally direct marketing. There are many Facebook groups about service accommodation and holiday lets. The hospitality one, actually, I forgot about this one. The hospitality one is the largest probably, and then is the service accommodation network. Just have a look on Facebook. Almost every single day there are at least 5 posts about asking about cleaners in different locations. So it's always worth it to be there and read. And actually, when you read their posts, you will understand what their problems are, and you will get an idea how you can help these people and actually make them want to work with you, not with someone else. The more you understand what they struggle with their guests, the better relationship you will have with them, and in a better way you will be able to manage the cleaning for the properties. Another way to find management companies or owners is the OTAs. OTA, that's online travel agents. This is all Airbnb, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, God knows how many, but the main one in the UK, Expedia, yeah, Expedia as well. The main two in the UK are Airbnb and Booking.com. You won't be able to find directly the address of the property, and 90% of the time the owner doesn't live there. But what you will find is their contact details. So search for the name, see the name of the property, say on Airbnb, copy that, paste it on Google. You will find either a Google business page, you will find them on Google Maps, or you will find directly their website. So find a way directly to message them and to explain what you offer, that you're in their area, or you've got, you know, other properties serving in that area. Just sell yourself directly to them. They need cleaners. I can tell you they need cleaners. I've been to a massive event, 3-day training event for a service accommodation, and everybody in the room, so there were probably 100 people in that room, who paid a massive sum to be there and to learn. Everybody in that room wanted to start cleaning business, and I was laughing. I was laughing at these people because I thought, you don't know what you're talking about. But in reality, they struggle for cleaners. They really want reliable cleaners, and because they were so fed up, they wanted to start cleaning businesses, all of them. So they are desperate to get that service. And if you can sell yourself to them, you will have the best clients ever. But you need that bit of knowledge, what they talk about. And then the other way to find management companies and owners is recommendations by other hosts. It's really common. I believe it works the same way with the HMOs, Diane, but most people, you know, if they're happy with someone, they will happily recommend you to other friends they've got in the same field. Right, what can go wrong with cleaning service apartments and holiday lets? A lot can go wrong. I have given here a bit of a few examples. Guests checking out later, which means the late clean. What you're going to do? You've got the clean scheduled at 10:30, but the guest is still in the bed at 11 o'clock. So if you're wise, you will schedule the clean, for example, at 10:30 till 12 o'clock. You arrive there, guest is still in the bed at 11 o'clock, you call the owner or the management company, they can do nothing. They're 100 miles away somewhere. So what are you doing? What you do with the cleans after that one? It is a problem, but it's manageable. Most service accommodation owners charge extra for later checkouts and early check-ins. So it's really important to understand that. And when you go and meet an owner and talk about cleaning their property, ask them if they do that. A good owner will maximize their profit, will maximize their income from the property, and they will do everything to get the extra money. They will sell that extra time that someone can stay in the property longer, but that's a big problem for you because you can't schedule the work. If you don't have a good relationship with them, if you don't follow that, if you don't know how to use a channel manager, or if you don't have an account with Airbnb where, as a cleaner, not as an owner, where you see what they're talking about and when the guests are leaving, you will struggle with this. And then you've got guests checking in earlier. You're still there, you're still cleaning. It happened to us. We were still cleaning and a family arrived at the door. We didn't even have the bed linen ready for them. So you've got very unhappy guests waiting at the door, and they will complain about everything, believe me. What else? Guests trashing the place and you won't have enough time to clean it. Say you're scheduled a clean to take 3 hours and you're cleaning 3-bed, 1-bathroom flat. You arrive at the place and everything is upside down. All the furniture is moved. Someone's been sick in the corner. They were taking drugs. They were smoking inside the property. They were just having a proper party. But what do you do about the cleaning then? Do you have enough time? The next guests are coming. They're checking in a bit later. You've got to be ready. You've got to have a backup plan. I've seen other problem where the owner won't give enough set of keys because they are worried that someone will use the place, and they don't give the cleaners keys. They rely on the fact that the guest will leave the key in a box, and when the cleaner comes, they'll just get the same set of keys. But 50% of the time, the guest is leaving with the key in his pocket. You arrive at the property to clean and you've got no keys to enter the property. So all that is avoidable. All that doesn't mean it will happen every time, but you've got to be careful, and you've got to know the possibility of this in advance. So when you go to talk to the owner, you ask what their backup plan is, what they're doing in that kind of situation. Yeah, another thing, management companies will pay you when the OTA pays them. And with Booking.com pays 6 weeks after someone stayed at the property. Are you happy to take your money 6 weeks later? You've got to talk about that as well. Cleaner didn't turn up for the clean. What are you doing in that case? When a guest book a property, doesn't matter where they book it from, and the property is not ready for some reason, it's not clean, or there was a flood or anything like that, the owner or the management company has to relocate the guests at their own expense, which means the management company is paying for the guest to stay somewhere else. And if it's your fault, the cleaning company's fault, because the cleaner didn't turn up, you may lose the client. So be careful and talk to them what's going to happen in that situations. As I said, you always have to have a backup plan. And of course, there are a lot of more options. I don't want to scare you, actually. I'm just going to say this all now, and then Hristina will tell you how good is the job. So, right. Oh, that's my favorite, the ecosystem. When you get, say for example, you find a management company with 10 properties in your area, fantastic. They need you more than you need them, but they don't know that. What you can offer these people is something to help your business as well. Most of them need the one, I call it the one-stop shop. They need the one solution to take that headache from them. If you can offer them the laundry and the ironing services, and I'm not talking only about the bedding. Sometimes corporate guests arrive, and midweek they need someone to look after their shirts, or they're coming from overseas to work for a month. They don't want to do the laundry and the ironing. They want someone to come collect everything, wash it, iron it, and then bring it all clean and ready for them on Monday. That's extra money for you. It's an extra service. All these properties, they need oven clean. You don't need to clean the oven every single time. I mean, you have to wipe it and it has to be left perfect, but you can still demand to have a proper oven clean twice a year. External window clean, carpet cleaning. With the holiday properties, there are stains of wine or dogs or all sorts of things. So that's extra services and extra money for you. All these companies love to have someone who can offer meet and greet. Now with this one, meet and greet is an expensive service. It's not cheap, but it's the biggest booster for their reviews. And why is that? Because people buy from people. If you come on the property and no one is there to meet you, no one is there to show you the rooms or show you where the bins are or show you where the keys or show you where, whatever, you know, you won't feel very welcome. But if there is someone at the door smiling with a key in their hand, keeping social distance, of course, it looks much different, and it shows immediately on the reviews. I tried that last year. So I went on a holiday, and one of my girls was paid an hour every time when she had to, when we were expecting guests to arrive. So she's there just to say hello, welcome, how was your trip? Sorry, I need a drink. And it wouldn't take her more than 10-15 minutes, because we were keeping a really good relationship with our guests, and we knew exactly what time the guest will arrive. But it was good for her because she had a little baby, so she can be around with the baby. It wasn't a problem. It was extra money for her. It's an hour, but the actual job takes about 10-15 minutes. And it always shows on the reviews. They always say, oh, it was really nice, we felt very welcome. So if you can offer the management company or the owner that extra bit, is a massive thing for you. Maintenance, guests arriving with the suitcases, they scratch all over the walls. You don't actually need a proper decorating or painting or whatever. But if you can offer them the quick, you know, a quick go with a bit of a paint, so you can hide all that, just the small things, change the bulbs, you know, the smallest thing you can offer, it's an extra help for the owners, and they will want to work with you, not with another cleaning companies. The next thing is emergency cover and key holding. Very often guests arrive, go out at the night, get drunk, lose the key, coming back 5 o'clock in the morning, they can't come in, and then they will call the owner, of course. And what will owner do? They will call you and say, hello, you've got the keys, would you mind going and letting the guests in? And of course you're going to charge them, because I can assure you the owner will charge the guests, and they will charge them the deposit. So I didn't mention that, but most properties, they take deposit. And it's not always what you see on the OTAs. It could be a lot more, it could be less, but you've got to ask the owner when you go to see them, what's their deposit? Because things like this, you've got to be paid, and the owner won't pay it out of their pocket. They will take it from the guest deposit. It could be anything from 50 to 200, depending on the number of the nights that the guests will stay in. And then the last bit that you can offer a management company or the owner is the supplying toiletries, welcome packs, toilet rolls, soap, washing up liquid, bin bags, just everything. Hristina will tell you a bit more about that, but we've always done it. The cleaners on every changeover, the cleaners will get fresh milk. We usually buy it and keep it in the office, so they've got it handy and they don't have to make the extra trip. But we bring fresh milk or croissants or whatever you agree with the owner. Again, it's another thing that will show on the reviews, and the reviews is what is selling the property online. So the owner will be happy to pay anything for the good reviews. What you've got to offer these people to get them: be flexible. What I mean by be flexible is you've got to help them maximize their profit. How are you going to do that? They want the later checkouts, the earlier check-ins. How are you going to accommodate the cleans? Are you going to be working in teams, larger teams, so you can do it in a shorter time? It's up to you, really. I don't know. But I know companies, management companies, that lost a lot of money because they were working with a cleaning company. The cleaning company had turns where they did not clean on Sundays. So that meant for the management company that guests are checking out on Sunday, but the property is not cleaned immediately after. The property is cleaned on Monday because the cleaning company is not working on Sunday. So the company was losing money because that's it's a 1 day where they cannot have guests in the property because the property is not ready. So to get the client, you've got to be flexible. Be reliable. If you say you're going to do the clean, do it. If it has to be you going there, do it. Because otherwise, the owner of the management company will pay out of their pocket for the relocation of the guests. For whatever reason, the cleaners can't do the clean today. They didn't turn up in the morning, they're sick or whatever. You've got to have a backup plan. You've got to be reliable. You've got to be there for the owner or the management company. Otherwise, they'll get the negative review and they will pay out of their pocket. Offer additional services. As I said in the previous slide, you know, carpet cleaning, oven cleaning, window cleaning, laundry and ironing services. The more you can offer them, the more tempted they will be to work with you. Learn how to use a channel manager. I had no idea what a channel manager a few years ago. Now I can work, well, mainly with Toolkit, but there are a lot more. Toolkit, Beds24, there was another one, UK one, I can't remember the name. A lot more, just they're all pretty much similar, or at least if you work with an owner or a management company, ask them to create account as cleaners for you on Airbnb and Booking.com, because that will allow you to log in and see the bookings, the checkouts and check-ins. If you don't follow that, if you rely on the owner telling you when the checkout and check-in is, you may get the things wrong, because owners, for example, they have 3 properties, they get confused, they forgot to tell you, but the guests arrive, and not always the owner say, oh, actually that was my fault, I should have told you before. If you have your own access to their booking systems, you will be able to see their bookings ahead. And that will help you when you prepare your schedules to have an idea how many staff you need on what days and how to plan your work. And not every cleaner knows how to work with channel managers. On Airbnb and Booking.com have a normal account. Login, I do it all the time with our properties. Log in and see the reviews as a guest, because this is what future guests will see, and you want to see what the feedback is after their stay. So you've got to follow that all the time. If you need improvement, if things are okay, or if the owner comes and say, can we negotiate the price? Can you get the price down? Well, no, I won't get the lower price because I'm bringing you 5-star reviews every time when we clean it. So you've got to have that information. What you offer them will help you define your price, be the one-stop shop so they can't replace you. There are loads of cleaning companies. There are loads of owners that want the cheap service, but they say they offer luxurious properties. They want that, but they will offer luxurious properties and they will charge massive prices for a nightly rate, but they still want to pay the cleaners £10 per hour. If you are flexible, if you are reliable, if you offer amazing service, if you bring the 5-star reviews, they will be happy to pay your price, I promise you.
Let me go to my bed.
And we're recording it.
Oh, okay. So, hi everyone, I am Hristina, and I will be talking today mostly about holiday homes, holiday lets or Airbnb, whatever you call it. It's pretty much the same service accommodation. It's a little bit different, as Kremena talked about it earlier. Is it domestic or commercial clean? I personally wouldn't classify it as any of it, either domestic or commercial. It's a completely different cleans. It's a very specific clean, and it's better as you do it. You know, you will get a better reviews on your job from the guests in clients' properties. We cover mostly Tewkesbury area, and we do around it used to be 30 holiday homes, and the last week I had another 3. So we covered 33 holiday homes, and for half of them, we do pretty much everything. But for all of them, we do laundry and ironing. So when I have a call from a client, or I find a client, who is looking for a cleaner for a holiday home, I usually arrange a visit. And I arrange it for at least 30, 40 minutes. It's when I'm there, it's very important to talk with the client, to understand the client, to understand the property. And the more difficult clients are those which deal with the property on their own, and they did the managing and they did the cleaning, and they get tired at some point and they decide to find the cleaner. So when you're there and speaking with them, it's very difficult to negotiate with them, because they think that they're the best cleaners and they've done the best job. So yeah, that's why, you have to be prepared for that as well. Ask lots of questions, ask everything. We will talk about the questions now. And have your documents ready with you when you're there. Have with you a copy of your terms and conditions, copy of your risk assessment, course. Have with you a checklist, because that's something you will find through the process is important, because you don't want to miss anything. So the questions are, when I'm going there, when I have the questionnaire, is I'm asking clients, is it a short or a long term let? Most of our holiday homes are short term let, which means minimum 2 nights stay. So every third day we have to do a clean when is the busiest season, which is great. And most of the cottages are at least 3 hours. Because when we do the cleaning, we do everything. The oven is included, the extractor fan is included. That doesn't mean that guests stayed in the property, used the oven and did the cooking. Believe me, the oven, it's used probably when guests book their holiday for a week. When they're for 2 nights, nobody's bothered to do an oven clean, but to do a cooking, and for us to do the oven clean. But it have to be checked, and it have to be clean. It's very important to know the check-in and check-out time. I did say it in the break rooms. Our check-out time is always at 10 o'clock. And I let the cleaners go at 10:30. We leave a half an hour gap between, for the guests to have time to go out. We don't want to crash with them on the door, them leaving and us going in. The other very important question is the towels. For how many towels per person? We have a holiday homes where we have a bath sheet, the biggest towels, a bath towel, a hand towel, a face cloth, and a bathrobe. So you have to be very, very concentrate on that one, the towels, and especially those clients which did the cleaning and tidy up and setting up the property. They have the certain way of setting it up, and it's very important to stick with it. I know we all have a different vision and on that one, but it's important for the guest, the client, to know that we will do what they want, because we need them and they need us. That's how I see the things. How many sets of linen do they have? To be honest, I ask for at least 3, because on every 3 days clean, they can't guarantee if they use another laundry services that the linen will be delivered back for the next clean if they have only 2 sets. Even with us, when we do it, I can't guarantee, it depends how busy we are. And I can't guarantee that for the next clean, the bed linen will be done. So at least 3 sets of linen and 3 sets of towels. it's important to ask for if they're pet friendly. If they're pet friendly, they usually charge extra money, which means you can charge extra for it, because when there is a pet, it's the state of the property, it's different. It can get much dirtier than if there wasn't any pets in it. It's good to ask for the welcome pack, as Kremena mentioned. We do a property which is a 8-bedroom, 8-bathroom property, 5 stars. It's amazing, massive property. And the welcome pack includes a fresh local bread, a jar of local honey, a jar of the local dairy farm, milk from the local dairy farm, a butter from the local dairy farm, a bottle of wine, and it's in a lovely basket. And clients, the guests, can go away with the basket. It's a present for them. So, but it's in another properties, they offer just a milk and a pack of biscuits. In some of the properties, we do supply with it, because the client doesn't live locally, and we do everything for them. We supply with the toilet rolls, toileters. We supply with the welcome pack. If some of the bedding need alterations, I will organize it for them. So you have to ask as much as possible questions, to get to know the client and the property, because the first clean, it's usually tricky. If you don't know the answers to all those questions, something can go wrong. So yeah, with the welcome pack and the toileters, you ask clients who is going to leave it, who is going to organize it. Is it the client or is it you? And that's very important as well when you're making your price. I price per job. It depends what clients ask us to do. If we have to collect a laundry from somewhere else and put it on the bed and take the dirty laundry back to the laundrette, everything with every client is different, and it's important for you to know where you stand up, so the client won't ask you, why that's not being done, because it's not included in your quote. When I'm making a quote, I'm making it 3 pages long, and I write everything, what will be included, what we will do, what is our responsibility. Otherwise, like the other day, one of them asked me, why the barbecue is not clean? Because you never asked me to quote for it. It's not our job. We don't do anything on outside. We are only doing it inside. Oh, can you add that one? Yes, of course I can add it. It's an extra charge for it, but we never been asked to do it, and it's not our responsibility. Here is your quote, check for it. Ask the tea towels in the kitchen, toilet rolls. I even make pictures on in the kitchen cupboards, on the cupboards, how they're set up, where everything belongs to, and cleaners have a folders with it. So we don't put the things in a different cupboards each time. They stay in the same cupboard every time. I ask for the laundry. I offer our laundry service. I offer them. I give them the price list with the laundry and the ironing. Ask for the arrangement in the kitchen, as I say. Ask for the bins, and if they recycle, if they have the recycling bin, or you should take it somewhere else. To the local recycling center, and that's an extra service which you can add. Ask them if they want to add something else. If you forgot about something, ask for the tea, coffee, sugar jar. Should you refill that one? Should you supply with the ingredients, or just you have to fill the jars, and the client will do it. And when you fill up the last part of the package in the jar, you just have to send a text message to the client and saying, sorry, for the next time we will need an extra coffee, tea and sugar. It's important to have a good relationship with the client. I love it. Honestly, the holiday homes are my favorite cleans. The properties are very minimalistic, not cluttered at all. Clients are coming for 3 to 5 nights. Usually it's very clean. Yes, we had in the past very grubby and dirty guests, left the property in a really bad state. But when I send the picture to the client and say, look, that's unacceptable, as Kremena say, they usually charge deposit, so that will be taken off their deposit, and we can charge extra, because the job which, the price which I gave them, it's for a clean. It's not for a deep clean. It's not for after party clean, because you all know the after party clean it's completely different. That's pretty much most of the question I ask. But when I'm there, and from the conversation with the actual client, lots of questions can come up, and you can ask. It's best to ask, otherwise you won't know. Those are the type of documents I take out, and that's my checklist, which is very, very simple. And at the top, I usually put the date and the initial of the cleaner. And I've got all the checklists on a different language. The first is English, and then is the few different languages, depends on the cleaner nationality, because I don't want to hear, oh, I didn't understand it, sorry, I couldn't read it, I don't know what that's mean. They have it in their own language, which it's easy, and they won't understand it. So it's for the cleaners to tick the boxes that they've done it, and they have their initials there. So if a guest complain and client calls me and say that something is being wrong, I know who is being there, and I have to speak with that cleaner, to see why they haven't done the job properly, or why they missed that part, or something. The next document, it's the cost, about our cleaning products and everything what we're using. The risk assessment, it's what we can do and what we are not, and of course our terms and conditions. It is mostly about the payments, because we work pretty much 24/7. We cover holiday homes any day, Saturday, Sunday, any day during the week. We do accept a last minute booking. That's something which you have to consider. Do you want to do it? Are you prepared to do it? Because very often, like yesterday, I received we had to do a clean, and the client texted me at lunchtime and said, Hristina, I just had a last minute booking from today till in 2 days time, and is the property ready? And I said, yes, it is ready, because it was booked to be done at 10:30, so it will be ready for 3 o'clock. Guests can check in. So it's you have to consider those little things. Are you prepared to do it? And because of that, I just want to take you to a breakout room again and have a look at the pictures around, and have a look closer on the details, and think about how you will set up your price. We are talking about a swimming pool, which is on the right hand side. You can see the bifolding doors are open. We don't do the actual swimming pool. We don't do the actual jacuzzi. We do just around it. We do the sauna, the changing room, and there is a little toilet. That's the actual holiday cottage. It's a 1 bedroom. That's the kitchen. That's the seating area. And here is the bedroom from different angles, and the bathroom. and you have to think about every detail. You know, you have to, on all those questions which I asked, and based on the pictures, think about the price, you know, about all the details, how you have to dust all the lamps, the radiators, the skirting boards, you know, how you have to set up the cushions on the safety, the oven, the extractor fan, the bar, the chairs. Oh, the chairs are nightmare. Can you see the bottoms? You know, they have to be shiny. And the entrance door, which is here for that holiday home, it's a glass door, so fingerprints are all the time there, all the time. In the bathroom, you have everything chrome, so that have to be very shiny. You know, think about all the details, and think how you will set up your price. Diane, can we have the breakout rooms, please?